Hi, I'm Lizzie and welcome to my garden here at the Rose Press. I'm so excited that my rose pagoda is finally up, and today I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to plant my bare root roses that will be climbing up each of the poles. I'm going to start off by digging over the border, so I've started it already, and I just need to get rid of some of the weeds down this side, and then I'll be planting my bare root roses down here, and then eventually I'll be planting sweet peas across both sides of the pagoda, which I think will smell amazing. So to plant your bare root roses, you'll need a fork, a spade, a watering can, a trug or something to hold some water to hydrate the bare root roses, and obviously you'll need your bare root roses too. Bare root roses can be planted anytime from late November to April, as long as it's not water sodden, like flooded, or frozen. So I'm planting mine now in March, so if you're watching this now and you haven't got any bare root roses yet, then now is a brilliant time to get them ordered over the next month or so and get them planted. It was mega hard trying to decide which roses to go for, but what I've gone for is 2 climbers and 2 ramblers. So there's loads of different types of roses that you can choose from. There's shrub roses, which kind of grow about this high, which you have in your borders, so I've got plenty of those over there. But what I need for this pagoda is something that not is only going to climb up the poles, but also cover the top up here as well. So the ramblers, which are generally more vigorous and kind of cover a wider space much more quickly, will go at opposite ends and hopefully cover the top, and then the climbers will go up each of the sides and do the pole and a little bit in that corner. But if I planted 4 ramblers, it'd be too much, and if I planted 4 climbers, it wouldn't be enough to cover the top. So yeah, I spent hours and hours researching which roses I wanted and what colours I wanted to go for. So I've got 2 different ramblers, and then I've got the same climber just for some consistency to go up the sides there, and I'm going to plant them in opposite sides of the pagoda. So I bought these ones from David Austin Roses. They're a brilliant rose breeder, and they've got an amazing garden near Shropshire Way, which if you ever get a chance to go and visit it in kind of June, July time, it is incredible. So many different roses. There's also Peter Beals Roses, which I highly recommend. They're based just down the road from me in Norfolk, and again, they have a rose open day in June, which is just phenomenal. The amount of beautiful roses they have is incredible. So we've got quite a few shrub Peter Beals roses around the garden, and I'm going to get some to grow up the fences as well. So my orders arrived from David Austin Roses, and I've gone for bare root roses, and the reason I've gone for bare root is a couple of reasons. Number one, it's a good time of year to plant bare root roses. It basically just means it doesn't have any mud around the root at the bottom, so they send them in this kind of package, and it's much more better for the environment because you're not kind of paying and they're not having to transport all that heavy mud that can create extra carbon. So the other option you can do is plant container roses, so they're already in a pot and container, which you could do later on in the year, but seeing as I'm now the right time for bare root roses, it makes sense to do so, and they're much cheaper, so it's much more cost effective to go for a bare root rose as well. So they come in this packaging, and I know David Austin has done a really good job of trying to be more environmentally friendly, which I really love. So I'm just going to open this up. So it comes with a planting guide and all of the information, and it also all comes in this compostable kind of wrapping, which is exactly what I use to post out all my orders. So if you order a larger order in a box and it needs something that goes around it, rather than using plastic, I've been using this compostable, so I can just pop this in my compost bin, or if you don't have a compost bin, you can put it in your waste bin, but you know it's going to degrade and not hang around for years, which I absolutely love. Just open this up, and I've ordered obviously quite a few, so there's quite a few in here. I'm just going to put my gloves on because I think it's going to be spiky. So I've got my gloves on, you can see I've been using them a lot recently, and I'm just going to pick up each of these bare roots out of here. Brilliant. So this is what a bare root looks like, and we've also got the name of each of them on here, which is super handy because it's so easy to get them mixed up. So this one is the Generous Garden, which is a climbing rose. I've had so many recommendations from you all on Instagram on this one, so really excited to grow this one. And basically the bare root rose has the root, and then it has what we call the crown, which is this area here where it joins, and then the root grows. And basically we need to plant this 2 inches under the ground, or a couple of inches, about this high underneath the ground, 10 centimetres or so. And what we do before we plant the bare root rose is put it into water for at least 2 hours. So that's why you need your trug or your container full of water. A bucket's absolutely fine. fill it up with water and leave these here for 2 hours. So I'm going to leave these here for 2 hours minimum. I'm going to get digging on the borders and make sure I've got rid of all the weeds and dug it over really nicely, and then I'll show you how to plant them. Once you've soaked your bare root for minimum 2 hours, then make sure you get it out of the water and we're ready to plant it. This one is a Paul Noel, which is a rambler, so it's going to go really high up and across, which I'm really excited about. What you need to do is dig a big hole. It needs to be a nice big one. You can see how far the roots spread, but we want to dig it around that so that as the roots get going, they can spread even further. So one of the tips that I learned from Steve Parnham, who's the head gardener at David Austin, is to get a cane stick and put it in. And what you want is this crown area in the middle to be about 2 inches under. So once you pop that in, see, I still need to dig that a little bit deeper on there. So I've had another good dig down here, and I can now put it a couple of centimetres below that cane. So that's a good tip if you're not sure how deep to plant it. Now that I've ready to plant it, I'm just going to add a little bit of nutrients to the bottom of the soil. So I'm using Plant Grow, which are based near me in Norfolk, and I'm just going to pop a little bit in there and just dig that in. The reason you want to dig it in is because you want to the roots to then want to spread out. If they've got too much nutrients close by, their roots won't want to spread. So that's why we dig it in a little bit, and then we're ready to plant. So just make sure it's deep enough. So we will pop that in there and then pull the rest of the soil back around the bare root. Once we've done that, what we will do is heel it in gently, which is just where we use the heel of our welly to just push around the rows. The next thing to do once you've done that and it's firmly in place is to give it a really good water. And then I'm going to use the rest of my Plant Grow to mulch around the base of the rows. My next job is to go and get some more Plant Grow and to do the rest of this border and all the way around the rows. The best thing to do then is to keep it watered, and in a few weeks it will start to shoot, and then eventually I will start to train it around the pergola post and it will go up and over. Thanks for watching.